thank you so much for joining us with the insider details. As my colleague Prashant is picking up on from his sources, this is being seen as a pressure tactic from DK Shivakumar just to ensure he's allowed to actually remain KPCC president. There are also looming corruption allegations, as Prashant has highlighted. We'll keep a track on all the key developments, the growing dissent within the Congress in Karnataka. For now, slipping into a very quick break. Back in a moment with the latest updates for you.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand.
The last 1 month, if you see, the share prices of Gensol Engineering has fallen more than 58%.
Why are the rating firms calling the debt payments as default?
We have two credible credit rating agencies on March 4th coming and downgrading the stock to D.
Statements are consistently being proven wrong,
Right.
And transactions are being taken place which are different from what they were originally pictured to be.
The company claimed it would roll out 6,400 electric vehicles. But what it has rolled out is a shocking scam. Funds meant for the project were funneled allegedly back to the promoters, the Jaggi brothers. What did the money buy? Not EVs, of course, but a lavish flat in Gurgaon's luxurious DLF Carmelias.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India, it matters to India, and it matters to me, and it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru, only on NDTV 24x7.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India.
Welcome back. Actress Shefali Jariwala was found dead under mysterious circumstances, as we've been extensively covering, and 72 hours on, no autopsy report yet, and the questions, well, they keep piling up. Sources have pointed to self-medication and anti-aging drugs possibly playing a deadly role. We are, of course, waiting for the autopsy and post-mortem report to confirm what actually happened. Was it a tragic health gamble or something more sinister? You must note that foul play has been ruled out. But as the investigation deepens, the spotlight turns to what she was taking and why. My colleague Abira has been tracking the finer developments for us. She joins us live from outside the Amboli police station at the moment. Abira, what's the latest you can disclose to our viewers?
We still have a day or two to go till we get the postmortem report. It does take time for the autopsy report to come. Once it comes, it will be submitted to the family and the police. But we still have a few time till it comes out. But till then, what we still know is that the doctors speaking exclusively to us, NDTV, said that yes, he's a plastic surgeon, and he confirmed that Shefali was his client, and he also said that she visited him last in March, but he could not disclose the treatments and the medication she was on, citing to doctor-patient confidentiality. So what we know right now is her friend confirmed that she was taking vitamin C. Now vitamin C is a very common medicine that we all take. It's a supplement, it's not a medicine, but a supplement that we all take. But when we spoke to Dr. Harish Shetty, he's a psychiatrist, he said these supplements, doesn't matter what supplement you are taking, you need to talk to your doctor before you take it, because there is a certain dosage you're supposed to take. Are you supposed to take without meal or after meal, empty stomach or not empty stomach? These are things that the doctor can suggest to you. And for how long? Are you going to take it for 3 months, 5 months? You need to stop taking a medicine after a certain particular time and then recontinue it as the dosage given to you by your doctor. So we have to find out if Shefali was doing self-medication, was she given the medication by the doctor. All these will only be clear once the postmortem comes out. But yes, anti-aging drugs are very, very common in the entertainment industry and otherwise. People go and get these treatment done, the skin whitening treatment, and also in entertainment industry there's a lot of pressure. Yes, the pressure comes from the people like us, the society, who are watching these actors on screen. There's an obsession with youthfulness. They want to watch people who are young, and actors are constantly trying to do these treatments so that they can increase their career span, which is really sad, but it is the ugly truth.
Abira, thanks so much for joining us with that update. Well, the untimely death of Shefali Jariwala has led to widespread conversations in the film and television industry about the mental and physical pressures actors face, especially around age and appearance. In this exclusive interview with NDTV, casting director Mukesh Chhabra, he opens up about the growing stress among actors, particularly young female artists, who fear being sidelined due to aging. Listen in.
बहुत सारे एक्टर्स यहाँ आते हैं, यंगस्टर्स, और उसके अलावा आपने बहुत सारी बड़ी बड़ी जो फिल्में हैं उनके लिए आपने कास्टिंग की है. किस तरह का एक मानसिक चलन या मेंटल जो एक थॉट प्रोसेस है एक्टर्स की, खास तौर से महिलाओं की, वो आपको देखने को मिली है पहले?
आई थिंक सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट जो उनके दिमाग में प्रेशर रहता है, क्योंकि बहुत लिमिटेड काम है और जो संख्या है लोगों के एक्टर्स की वो बहुत ज़्यादा है, जो बहुत, और ऑल्सो सडनली जो यंग गर्ल्स और यंग फीमेल में एक अननेसेसरी स्ट्रेस चल रहा है कि दे गोइंग टू लूज एज. हम लोग हमेशा एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि एक्टर की कोई एज नहीं होती. आई थिंक वो जो यंग दिखना और जो स्ट्रेस है वो उनको बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस देता है. उनको लगता है कि हमारी एज जा रही है, एक हीरोइन की सर्टन एज होती है, जबकि ऐसा होता नहीं है.
दो चीज़ें और देखने को मिलती हैं, चाहे वो मेल हो या फीमेल. वो ये होता है कि एक होता है ट्रांजिशन पीरियड, कि जब आप फीमेल प्ले कर लेते हैं, हीरो हीरोइन मेन लीड आप प्ले कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद फिर आप कैरेक्टर रोल्स में जब जाना होता है, तो वो जो ट्रांजिशन पीरियड होता है, आपने देखा है कि इस तरह के मेंटल स्ट्रेस उन एक्ट्रेसेस के साथ हो जो बहुत फेमस हो चुके हैं या बहुत जिन्होंने सक्सेस देखी है.
आई थिंक मैंने ऐसा बहुत देखा है, लेकिन द बेस्ट पार्ट अबाउट ये है कि जिनको इस समय इस इंडस्ट्री में रहना है, एक्टिंग करना है, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि एक्टिंग ना हर एज में लगातार आपको करते रहना चाहिए. आपको हर तरह के रोल के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट करना चाहिए. आपका करियर लंबा उसी से होता है, क्योंकि अगर आप बोलेंगे कि ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत सारे एक्टर हैं जो अभी तक इतने लंबा साल का करियर भी है, उसके बाद ये ऑल्सो प्ले का मदर का पार्ट, ऑल्सो प्ले अदर पार्ट है, उनका करियर जो लंबा होता है. पर कुछ लोग इस बात का स्ट्रेस ले लेते हैं कि यार एक ज़माने में मैं लीड एक्ट्रेस थी, अभी मुझे माँ नहीं प्ले करना है, स्ट्रेस होता है. लेकिन जिसको अपना करियर लंबा बनाना है, जिसको अपना करियर लंबा चलाना है, उनको अपने ऑप्शन सारे खुले रखना है, अगर उनको लंबे समय तक इस करियर में रहना है, क्योंकि एक अच्छे एक्टर का करियर कम से कम 40-50 साल तक को तो रहता ही है. वक्त पूरा बदल गया है. जिस तरह की OTT और फिल्म फिल्में बन रही हैं, जो अच्छा एक्टर है वो लीड होता है। अभी ये बात को समझाना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया, क्योंकि जो भी एक पुरानी मानसिकता के लोग हैं जो इस तरह की बात को रखते हैं, उनके लिए थोड़ा स्ट्रेस होता है। पर मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि ये जो बात है कि मैं अभी अच्छी नहीं दिखती, इसका इस टैलेंट से कुछ लेना देना होता नहीं है। आई डोंट नो व्हाई पीपल आर मिक्सिंग looks with the talent.
Well, with that, let's get you another update from Maharashtra. A fresh war of words in the state, with the Uddhav Thackeray faction's mouthpiece Samna, in its latest editorial, has targeted the Maharashtra government. In an indirect dig, it said that the BJP could not execute Operation Sindoor properly, but is undertaking Op Hindi in Maharashtra.
UBT, just like Pakistan, is an extremely sore loser. After a humiliating defeat in the last assembly elections, they have not been able to come to terms with it, and every day they are, denigrating the country and they are denigrating the state. Fact number one, Operation Sindoor is a huge success. Destroying 12 PAF air bases, killing over 100 terrorists in Pakistan, destroying 9 terror camps. These were things which were unimagined in the UP era. These were things that were absolutely unimagined in the UPA era. So I think, UBT is living in denial when it comes to Operation Sindoor. But point number 2, when it comes to Hindi imposition, there is absolutely no Hindi imposition. The desire, it is always desirable to have, for students to have a third language. But yes, given the sensitivities involved over here, we have taken a decision to give the matter to involve an expert committee, and depending upon the recommendations of the expert committee, we will take a final call. But for a party which is absolutely defunct, which is obsolete, to celebrate this, it just shows that they are running short of issues. So the two Thackerays, Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray, are both insignificant, politically insignificant in Maharashtra.
My colleague Anuj Raite has been tracking the key developments for us. He joins us live at the moment. Anuj, we're given to understand that the Samna editorial has highlighted that the BJP could not execute Operation Sindoor properly. What have the reactions been to this latest Samna editorial?
This is a consistent line of attacking as far as UBT is concerned. If you remember, as soon as Pahalgam attack happened, while all the majority of the opposition parties vowed to stand by the government, it was in fact UBT and UBT's foremost leader Sanjay Raut, a member of parliament from Rajya Sabha, who was at the forefront in attacking the government. He also called out the Home Minister and was one of the first national leaders to state that it was a security breach or a security failure. And after that, Operation Sindoor started, and when it was prematurely ended, according to UBT, and that is when the second line of firing began from the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray faction of Shiv Sena. Now we are seeing that in the ongoing debate of language, when the two GRs have been cancelled, and which has already been seen as a major victory, a symbolic victory by the opposition parties here in Maharashtra, especially by UBT and MNS, through their editorial, the UBT faction of Shiv Sena has again tried to pinch the government a bit, and has very clearly stated that just like how the BJP-led government at the centre wasn't able to take forward the Operation Sindoor, similarly they attempted Operation Hindi in Maharashtra, and they failed at both of these things. Now, we've been talking to leaders here in the assembly, and of course they think that this entire statement is in a very low light, especially considering that the comparison here has been drawn between national security and the implementation of a 3-language policy, something that the government here believes was started or was initiated by Uddhav Thackeray himself back in the year 2022.
Right. As always, Anuj, thank you so much for joining us with the lowdown. With that, let's turn our attention now to Odisha. Dramatic visuals coming in of a senior officer being dragged out of his office. This video we're about to play has now gone viral. The BJP has actually said this is not the ethos of the party, but this video shows drama at the Municipal Cooperation Office. The opposition alleges the accused are BJP workers. The BJP saying this is not the ethos of their party. I must also inform you that 3 people have now been arrested for this assault, the video of which is now viral. Shreyashi Dey has the lowdown for us. But first, listen in to what the BJP's Aparajita Sarangi had to say.
मैं तो गुजारिश करूंगी पुलिस से आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री से कि ये जो लोग थे जिन्होंने इस तरह की हरकत की, जैसा वीडियो में परिलक्षित होता है, उनके विरुद्ध दृढ़ कार्यानुष्ठान ग्रहण किया जाए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के ये सदस्य हैं, ऐसा मुझे कहा गया है। मैं भी इन्हें जानती हूँ, कुछ लोगों को जानती हूँ। ऐसा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की विचारधारा और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नीति हमें ऐसा करना नहीं सिखाती है। जो विचारधारा से प्रेम करते हैं, जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नीति से प्रेम करते हैं, वो ऐसा कार्य नहीं करेंगे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सदस्य ऐसा कार्य कर ही नहीं सकते हैं।
A political fight has erupted over the viral video in Bhubaneswar where 3 people were seen brutally assaulting a commissioner of the municipality and an additional commissioner of the municipality. This while the grievances hearing was underway. Aparajita Sarangi has now claimed that yes, they are BJP workers. 3 persons have been arrested and FIR has been filed by the Odisha police. Of course, they're looking into this. Assaulting a government official on duty is a cognizable offence, and currently it is under investigation to identify if others are also involved in this brutal attack that was caught on camera.
With that, let's turn our attention now to West Bengal, where the accused in the Kolkata campus horror will be produced before a magisterial court later today. The Kolkata police is likely to seek an extension of custody and also oppose bail. This as the TMC government in Bengal faces a full-blown political pressure situation over the incident, with the BJP pointing to the links of the main accused to the TMC and saying the government is trying to shield the accused. The Mamata Banerjee government, though, has denied these charges. Clean. Let's switch tracks now. Well, currently Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they are mad at each other. This is the latest in the billionaire showdown. Elon Musk has blasted Donald Trump's record-breaking $3.3 trillion spending bill, calling it insane. Well, the other big international story we're tracking, it started with a seemingly racist tweet and has snowballed into an all-out culture war. A sitting US congressman just told an Indian origin mayoral candidate to go back to the third world because he ate rice with his hands. Believe it or not, this is where we're at in 2025. Zoran Mamdani, born in Uganda, raised in South Africa and the US, son of filmmaker Mira Nair, and now the man who just defeated Andrew Cuomo to become New York City's Democratic nominee for mayor. And this is the video that sparked a storm. Mamdani eating rice with his hands, speaking about solidarity with Palestine and his experience growing up in the global south. Now enter Brandon Gill, a Republican congressman from Texas who reposted this video with a caption, and I quote, "Civilized people in America don't eat like this. If you refuse to adopt Western customs, go back to the third world." This comment didn't just spark outrage, it has lit up the internet. Users have been quick to point out the irony because Brandon Gill is married to Danielle D'Souza, who's of Indian origin, and the daughter-in-law of none other than right-wing filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza. And cue the memes with users posting photos of Dinesh D'Souza himself eating with his hands. But Danielle D'Souza Gill doubled down. She has posted saying, "I didn't grow up eating with my hands," further adding, "I'm a Christian MAGA patriot. My family in India uses forks too." So we're at a place where the act of eating with a spoon or your fingers has become a political litmus test for belonging in America. But behind this, is something deeper. Mamdani, as you know, is no political lightweight. With all the news you've seen over the last week, Republicans, including Trump, Nancy Mace, and Stephen Miller, are going hard after him. Trump called him a 100% communist, lunatic. Another congressman even floated the idea of denaturalizing him. But let's be clear, eating with your hands is not uncivilized. It's tradition in our country, in India, in Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, the Middle East, and frankly across most of human history. So when a politician uses that to insult an opponent of color, it's not about table manners, it's about race, it's about power, and it is about exclusion. In other news, India is on the brink of a satellite-based internet revolution. The chairman of InSpace, Dr. Pawan Goenka, also leading India's space regulator, confirms that SpaceX's Starlink is close to securing final approvals. With OneWeb and SES also in the mix, rural and remote regions could soon gain high-speed connectivity from space. And our science editor, Pallav Bagla, has these exclusive details for you. Listen in.
India's space ecosystem is revving. I have with me Dr. Pawan Goenka, and he recently met with the CEO of SpaceX. Dr. Goenka, what was your discussion with the CEO of SpaceX, especially on Starlink?
CEO of SpaceX had come to India, Ms. Gwen Shotwell. She had met with a couple of ministers. She had met with me also. Basically, she was just trying to finish off all the open issues that are there for them to get all the required authorizations and licenses. So that's work in progress, pretty much done, and hopefully in the next coming days, it will all be wrapped up.
So we will soon have satellite-based broadband internet connectivity available over India?
There are a lot of steps to be followed even after the licensing authorization, which they will have to work on. I don't have all the details of what all needs to be done. So it will take few months even after authorization for the service to start operating in India. We'll have to watch and see how long it takes.
So rural India would benefit and mountainous regions would benefit?
Well, once the service is fully operational, of course. But as you know, that there are three different service providers who are in the different stages of authorization and licensing. One is OneWeb, second is SES, and third is Starlink. So a combination of all three, I'm sure, will provide services to rural India.
So India getting ready for satellite-based internet?
Yes, it is.
Meanwhile, in a strong and clear message from the world stage, External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar has called out state-sponsored terrorism in a veiled but unmistakable reference to Pakistan. Just listen in to his full remarks.
Terrorism is one of the gravest threats to humanity. It is the antithesis of everything that the UN stands for: human rights, rules and norms, and how nations should conduct their dealings with each other. When terrorism is supported by a state against a neighbor, when it is fueled by the bigotry of extremism, when it drives a whole host of illegal activities, it is imperative to call it out publicly. And one way of doing so is to display the havoc that it has wreaked on global society. 5 weeks ago, the United Nations Security Council issued a strong condemnation of a particularly horrific act of terrorism in Pahalgam. It demanded that its perpetrators be held accountable and brought to justice. We have since seen that happen. What that response underlines is a larger significance of the message of zero tolerance for terrorism. The world must come together on some basic concepts: no impunity to terrorists, no treating them as proxies, and no yielding to nuclear blackmail. Any state sponsorship must be exposed and must be countered. By now, we know well that terrorism anywhere is a threat to peace everywhere.
Meanwhile, India-US trade talks seem to be in the final phase. There seems to be quite the rush to finalize a pact by the 9th of July, which is the deadline given by Trump to pause his tariffs on all countries. But the White House today has had good news for India, saying that we should be hearing from Trump very soon. Listen in to the White House's latest remarks.
The President said that last week, and it remains true. I actually just spoke to our Secretary of Commerce about it. He was in the Oval Office with the President. They are finalizing these agreements, and you'll hear from the President and his team, his trade team, very soon when it comes to India.
On China?
counter China on that front?
Yes, I mean, look, India remains a very strategic ally in the Asia Pacific, and the president has a very good relationship with Prime Minister Modi, as you know, and he will continue to have that.
On that note, we're slipping into a very quick commercial break. Back in a moment with the latest updates for you. Do stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand.
Satellite-based internet revolution, Starlink is close to securing final approvals.
बदलाव की इच्छा रखने वाले लोग, उनको ये तय करना है कि वो जनसुराज जैसे नए विकल्प को चुनते हैं कि फिर पिटे पिटाए अपनी पुरानी व्यवस्था में जाना चाहते हैं।
तेजस्वी जी मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं, हमारी पूरी सपोर्ट है उनको। हम किंग मेकर की भूमिका में रहना चाहते हैं।
ये लोग घर से बाहर नहीं निकल पाते थे।
आपने इनको 20 साल से हमको केवल 20 महीना दे दीजिए, बस केवल 20 महीना।
जंगल राज लाने वाले मौका देख रहे हैं, अपने पुराने कारनामे करने का मौका ढूंढ रहे हैं।
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rawat. Lots coming up ahead for you. Our special focus on Karnataka as the Congress keeps denying there's any crisis. However, more and more complications arise. Will we see a change of guard? All that and more coming up. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking. Crisis mounts in the Karnataka Congress. A legislator known to be close to Deputy Chief Minister Mr Shivakumar says a majority of MLAs, as many as 100, want change. Randeep Surjewala is in Bengaluru in the midst of this crisis. He held several meetings yesterday and more meetings will be held today amidst this leadership tussle. The UBT Shiv Sena mouthpiece Samna comes out with an editorial targeting the Maharashtra government in an indirect dig. It says the BJP could not execute Operation Sindoor properly but is undertaking Operation Hindi in Maharashtra. The BJP hits back, says Operation Sindoor unimaginable in the UPA era. A shocker from Bhubaneswar, where a senior Odisha officer is dragged out of office and kicked. The assault allegedly by BJP workers. BJP MP, however, says our ideology does not permit such acts. And India on the brink of a satellite-based internet revolution. Starlink close to securing final approvals. We'll get you the exclusive details. All right, our top story and special focus on this in this bulletin is the crisis in Karnataka, the Congress's Game of Thrones amid mounting speculation about a possible leadership change in the state. A high-stakes power play is unfolding in Karnataka shortly before senior Congress leader Randeep Singh Surjewala meets with Karnataka Congress MLAs today. A legislator known to be close to Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar has said that a majority of the MLAs, as many as 100, want change in the leadership. MLA Iqbal Hussain warned that the Congress may not retain power in the 2028 state polls if the Chief Minister is not changed now. Remember, NDTV has been bringing you all these big developments right from the time earlier we heard one or two MLAs speaking out. We heard a minister saying that there are different power centers in the state and it's not the same as the previous regime of Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah on his part has denied there's any crisis, and we heard Mallikarjun Kharge yesterday saying that if there has to be any change, it is the high command in the Congress that will decide, which has also sparked criticism of the Congress party. Well, up first, let's listen into what this MLA Iqbal said to my colleague Deepak. MLA Iqbal Hussain, the one who said that 100 MLAs are with DK Shivakumar, spoke to Deepak on the phone.
इकबाल जी नमस्कार, मैं दीपक बोल रहा हूँ एनडीटीवी से।
बोलिए साहब दीपक जी।
आपका एक ऑफिशियल रिएक्शन चाहिए था मुझे। ये जो आप स्टेटमेंट्स कर रहे हैं बार बार कि इस टर्म में ही डीके शिवकुमार को चीफ मिनिस्टर बनना है क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत काम किया है केपीसीसी के लिए, ये आप आज भी आपने कहा है, आज आप जब सुरजेवाला जी से मिलने वाले हैं, क्या ये आप उनसे ये बातचीत भी करेंगे?
वही बोलने का है ना सर, उसके लिए जा रहा ना सर।
ओके, what are these things sir that you want to discuss seriously?
Sir, regarding this political issues we have to talk now sir.
Okay, so
not for the development of our constituency, other things sir. Rather than that, other issues are there. Regarding that, we wanted to talk to him directly sir. What is there? See, if at all, if you are aiming to get again power in 2028, certain precautions you have to take at this time. This is the right time for you to take some preliminary precautions. Otherwise, no.
Okay.
Otherwise, no, sir. So, certain things we have to.
So, you're saying this is necessary for the Congress to come back in the next term? 200%.
200%. If at all, if you want power, if you want our government to be in power in 2028, sir, it should be a change. There should be a change.
All right, let's listen into what MLA Iqbal Hussain had said earlier to the media, as well as other, comments that have been coming on this entire crisis. While some of the leaders in Karnataka have denied there's any crisis, including Siddaramaiah, who says there's nothing wrong. There's that many people may say things, but that he and DK Shivakumar are united. Take a look.
ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ MLAಗಳು, ಸುಮಾರು 100ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು MLAಗಳೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಶಾಸಕರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಆಡಳಿತ ಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅವರು ಶ್ರಮ ಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪಕ್ಷ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆವತ್ತು ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ KPCC ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಪಕ್ಷ ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪಕ್ಷ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಲವಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರು ಯಾರು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಮನವರಿಕೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಧ್ವನಿಗೂಡಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
All right, so that Congress MLA clearly in the DK Shivakumar camp, he is the one who has said on record that 100 MLAs are with DKS and also that there needs to be a change if the Congress wants to retain power in the state. Now let's take a look at what else has been said so far. While some MLAs who are clearly loyal to Siddaramaiah have denied there's any problem, have claimed that Randeep Singh Surjewala is merely there for a routine meeting. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah were also seen in these visuals yesterday. This was on another matter. It was to do with, flood preparations. However, they put up this show of bonhomie, though clearly a lot is happening in the background. The BJP, meanwhile, has hit out at the Congress party.
ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದಂಥದ್ದು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಂತ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬರವರು 14ನೇ ಹಣಕಾಸಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇವ್ರನ್ನೂ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಮುಂದೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರವರೇ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿತಾನೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಬಂಡೆ ತರ ಭದ್ರವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ.
ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ.
ನಾವಿಬ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ವಾ? ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ.
That is in the hands of High Command. Nobody can say here what is going in the High Command. This is left to the High Command. High Command has got power to take further actions, but unnecessarily one should not create problems.
Well, let's go across now to our reporters, Deepak, who's been tracking all those developments in Karnataka, even as the first of the MLAs first started speaking out against Siddaramaiah and against the state government. Also joining us are Aishwarya and Prashant. Well, let's go across to Deepak first, who seems to be speaking to someone. Let's listen in.
Thank you.
I saw you.
Well, it's interesting times as far as the political situation in Karnataka is concerned, and time and again it does happen. And there is never a dull day in Karnataka politics, they say, and today is definitely not one of those days. Mr Surjewala expected to be here. A host of legislators have already started to make their way in. Most of them are trying to say that, well, there's not going to be any talks of leadership change, but there are some legislators who says that this is the time to talk about a leadership change. There's no better time, because if the Congress has to come back in 2028, there needs to be a change that needs to be done. This was, of course, Mr. Iqbal Hussain. He is expected to make his way here around 2 or 3. That's the time slot that has been allocated to him. Mr. Surjewala is expected here any time now. Last night there were talks that were held with Mr. DK Shivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah at a private hotel here in Bengaluru. During that time, predominantly it was issues pertaining to boards and corporations, appointments there, and so on, and some of the opinions that were stated by the legislators in the first round of talks. But however, right now we are picking up from our sources that Mr. Surjewala's task here is twofold. One is he's going to really try and assess what exactly is the issue pertaining to the fund crunch, pertaining to the corruption, pertaining to maladministration that some of the legislators have been pointing out. Is there a need to fix that at a deeper level, at the ministerial level? This is something that he's trying to assess. The second important aspect aspect, though he's not outrightly asking about this to the legislators because he does not want this again to become a big talking point, is to assess the mood. He's trying to gather political intel on the leadership here in Karnataka. This intel that he gathers will be taken to the High Command, and there another round of discussion over the next few weeks will be held in the presence of Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, K.C. Venugopal is what I'm understanding. As of now, here Mr. Surjewala isn't going to really talk about a change as such with Mr. D.K. Shivakumar or with Mr. Siddaramaiah. What the discussion could be on the lines of is to quell any sort of voices that are coming in on these lines. But an important aspect here is the information that he's going to take away from here. As we speak, there is some movement. I'm going to ask my video journalist, Govind, to in fact pan around. I believe there could be an MLA or Mr. Surjewala himself who could be making his way here. The police, of course, are making way slightly for his vehicle, and I can also hear a slight, police siren, which could be an indicator that Mr. Surjewala could be on his way here, or any of the legislators. So a lot of hectic developments have been taking place over the last 24 hours after he, decided to pay a visit. And it indeed does look like it is Mr. Surjewala who is making his way to the KPCC. Yes, it is. I'm going to try and, of course, ask a question to him as well as he makes his way here. It is an interesting time, and Mr. Surjewala in the thick of things here. Sir, interesting times. The MLAs continue to make talks of leadership change. What do you have to say, sir? Would you like to say anything?
Welcome, sir.
Good, sir. Would you like to say anything? MLAs continues to make these sort of statements. Is there any fighting that is happening, sir? What is your
How are you?
I'm good, sir, but are you sure? Yeah, well, sir. Sir, is everything well within the Congress, sir? Is everything well within the Congress? Well, there you have it. Mr. Surjewala at this point in time, unwilling to take questions really, not answering about the leadership change or the statements that are being made by the legislators. He is going inside. The meetings will begin. Mr. N.A. Harris, the MLA from Shantinagar, is already inside. He was one of the first ones to meet or scheduled to meet Mr. Surjewala today. And after this, after a series of meetings, 1 p.m. there's also a press conference scheduled where Mr. D.K. Shivakumar will also be here at the KPCC.
All right, Deepak, like we saw Mr. Surjewala, the real man of the moment right now in the midst of this crisis in Karnataka Congress. You did try to question him. He did not want to answer any of the journalists about anything right now, given all that's happening, all that's been said. But again, take us through, what we're learning from sources. So Randeep Surjewala is going to, speak to various leaders, and he's going to take all this report, whatever he learns, whatever he observes, back to the High Command, and then there possibly is going to be, talks about a change of guard in Karnataka.
Well, yes, like I've been saying that, Mr. Surjewala's job here is, two main things. The second important aspect now, since that is more relevant, I'm going to touch down upon that, is to speak to the legislators. He's not making direct questions. Do you want a leadership change? Are you proposing? All of these are not questions. To be very clear, we are not putting out any details which are, out of the box here and just a figment of our imagination in Mr. Surjewala's words itself. What we are picking up from our sources is that this is an exercise where there is information that is being gathered indirectly from sense the mood of the legislators, the Congress leadership, and overall from the state. And he will take this intel that he is gathering to the High Command. This will come up once again. It will become very relevant when the discussions do come up, whether there is a need, a requirement to bring about a change in leadership here in Karnataka. As we speak here, the Soumya Reddy, she's also here. I'm going to try and get in a word from her very soon, as soon as she finishes speaking to some of the regional media channels here.
Right, Deepak.
And while we are talking about,
Right, Deepak, do try and, get those leaders, and let's see who is going to say what and admit what at this point. We're going to continue to track this story and return to Deepak for more, but I'd like to introduce our guests now. We're joined by R.K. Upadhyay, senior journalist from Bengaluru, and Sandeep Shastri, Vice President, NITTE, Education Trust and National Coordinator, Lok Niti. Thank you so much for joining us. And Sandeep ji, first to you, your comments on this crisis, as it were, that's exploded in Karnataka Congress. Congress, though there have been denials, clearly all is not well, and lots happening behind the scenes, even as, you know, this image of unity is put up by Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, lots is taking place.
Rajniji, they often say history repeats itself, and we seem to be having that coming up here. If you remember, 2 years into the previous BJP government, exactly the same thing happened when Mr. Yadurappa made way for Basavaraj Bommai. So Karnataka is witnessing, like in the past, halfway down the tenure of a chief minister, the whole talk of a change. The writing seems to be there on the wall. It's not, I think, a question of if, but it is a question of when the change is likely to happen. But I think the tragedy of all these developments is the focus is not so much on governance, which people are looking at, but unfortunately the focus is on who leads, and not so much the question of what do those in the state want does not become the question. And as you said, even as Surjewala ji is talking to people, dissidence is basically a byproduct of not being given a ministry. People who don't get the MLAs, who don't get a ministerial portfolio, are automatically transformed into dissidents. True about today, true about the previous regime also. So we have, irrespective of which party in power, the same political trends continuing, be it the BJP, be it the Congress.
All right, R.K. Upadhyay, to you, even at the time that this Congress government was formed in Karnataka, we saw at that time as well, DK Shivakumar was unhappy. He came to Delhi. There were those 2 days of silence, and then finally it was announced that Siddaramaiah would be Chief Minister, DKS would be Deputy Chief Minister. So this cloud, as it were, was always hanging over this Congress government, and now again all these differences are coming out in the open.
Gargi, make no mistake about it. I think a no-holds-barred slugfest has begun between Siddaramaiah camp and Shivakumar camp. There's no doubt about it. Surjewala is here to assess the situation. He wants to know, how many MLAs are with Shivakumar, how many are with Siddaramaiah. So that is the whole exercise and camouflage with something else. But it's a fact that, now DK Shivakumar is going all out to ensure that, he gets his term as a chief minister. As we have mentioned, when the results came out in May 2023, it took almost 1 week, though Congress had got a massive majority of 135 seats, which later became 136, they could not decide on the chief minister's post because of this fight between Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah. Finally, Shivakumar agreed to become Deputy CM under Siddaramaiah under the condition that, he will be given a chance. It was very explicit. I remember Surjewala saying that he will also get his chance. But subsequently, Siddaramaiah has been asserting that he will complete his 5-year term. And he is not ready to leave because he feels that, he should be there to complete this term. And 2028, Shivakumar can take over. But I don't think Shivakumar is going to wait that long. And Siddaramaiah is having problems with his own colleagues as well. Now, look at his so-called loyalists, the way they're talking. B.R. Patil, he's one of those closest loyalists. He is talking about corruption.
Right, I'm so sorry, Mr. Upadhyay. I'm going to have to interrupt there. I'll go across to my colleague Deepak, who has a guest. Over to you, Deepak.
Yes, Bhavya Narsimurthy from the Congress party is with me. Are you going to be meeting Mr. Surjewala yourself, or is the visit to KPCC related to something else?
So today all the state general secretaries have been invited for a meeting with Surjewala sir. So
interesting that you say this at a time where Congress legislators, despite the diktats being issued in the past as well, continue to bat in favor of one or the other leader, either Mr. DK Shivakumar or Mr. Siddaramaiah. How is the Congress leadership really looking to handle this situation, considering both of these are tall leaders?
See, when a party like Congress party, we have like 136 seats. People have given a majority for us, and we have a very strong government. And where there is power, there will definitely be these differences. But I'm sure our leaders are very capable in sorting this. And we have been successful in completing 2 years of Congress government. And we have fulfilled almost all of our promises, whether it comes to guarantee or most of our manifesto things. And we still have 3 years of government.
Okay.
Just like last time, we will be fulfilling all 100% of our promises, no matter what.
Promises are one
Unlike
thing.
BJP.
Promises are one thing about the guarantees. What about the promises made to some of your own leaders?
See, that's exactly what they will sort it out. Like I said, we have a very capable leadership, right? They will definitely sort it out. There will be differences where there is power. Like if you see BJP, they're not even in power. But tell me one person who has a control over the whole party, right? But here we have very capable leaders. We will definitely sort it out.
One important aspect today, while speaking to NDTV, Iqbal Hussain, the MLA, has said that if Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is not made the Chief Minister in 2028, the Congress will not come back to power. The prospects will go down.
See, it is individual opinion, but everything lies with the High Command, and whoever is the most capable leader here will be the Chief Minister. Like, I am too young in the party to comment on any of this, but definitely as of now, like yesterday if you saw Siddaramaiah sir and D.K. Shivakumar sir, they held hand together. They said they are together. But these MLAs, they have their own personal opinions for their own reasons. I don't know. I can't really comment on that.
Thank you, Bhavya, for speaking to us. Well, that was spokesperson of the Congress, Bhavya Narsimurthy, saying that where there is power, there is going to be differences. It's an able high command which will resolve it. Back to you in the studios.
All right, Deepak, I suppose a very diplomatic answer given by that young leader of the Congress party. But returning to my guests, and R.K. Upadhyay and Sandeep Shastri are still with us. Sandeep Shastri, now let's go into a more macro look. What does this crisis say about the Congress party? Yesterday, you had Mallikarjun Kharge saying it is the High Command that's going to decide. He is the president of the Congress party, and he is saying such things.
Gargi, that's a very, very valid question that the party president refers to the High Command. I presume he also included himself as part of that as being the party president. I think given the popularity of the High Command term, irrespective of party, what he basically meant, I think, is the central leadership of the party taking this decision, which is clearly a trend across political parties in the country. And while you talk about the MLAs of the state being involved in the decision, ultimately we have seen it's always the central leadership which takes the final decision on this matter. And the fact that the party president conceded that the High Command will take a decision implies that there is a decision that needs to be made. So I think the writing on the wall clearly is the talk of a change. I go back to what I told you in my first comment. It's not a question of if change, but it seems to be a question of when change.
All right, and final word from you, Mr. Upadhyay. How long do you think this crisis is going to play out?
I think it's going to be a long-drawn affair. Before that, I just want to make a comment on what Sandeep Shastri was saying. He was talking about what Kharge said about the High Command, and he thinks that probably he's also included. My understanding is he's talking about the High Command in third person. He's excluded himself.
It seemed that way.
So he has left it
that way, yes.
I mean, so that apart, I think, D.K. Shivakumar now wants this to be done. He's not going to wait even for 2.5 years to be completed. That will be in November. My hunch is he wants it after Dasara, this change to take place, and that is why he's mobilizing his supporters.
Right.
Look at the way he's getting his even MLAs talk about it, which he had not done so far. He was expecting the High Command to do this. Now he feels that he needs to put pressure on the High Command.
All right, well, thank you so much both for joining us there with your views. Let's go across now to our reporters, Aishwarya Jain and Prashant, who've been waiting very patiently. My apologies there. Prashant, first to you, what are you hearing regarding this crisis in Karnataka? As you heard the political commentators and journalists there, they're very clear that they feel D.K. Shivakumar wants that power, wants what he was promised, that's Chief Ministership of Karnataka.
Well, Gargi, I can talk about the leadership in the central leadership in the Congress party, and what I've talked to some of my sources in the Congress party in Delhi today. They are saying that Randeep Surjewala is meeting all the legislators and the leaders one by one, and he's not meeting them in huddle. He is meeting all the leaders one by one and taking their views. And what Deepak was saying from Bengaluru, that he might not ask all the legislators about the leadership change, But I have gathered from my sources in Delhi that this is one of the questions that Randeep Surjewala is going to ask those legislators, not in clear terms, but he'll try to get a sense of what they are thinking about this. So central leadership in Delhi is waiting for Randeep Surjewala to complete his exercise. And after that, he'll come to Delhi and is likely to submit a complete report on the ground situation in Karnataka. Because you see, the 2.5 years will be completed in October, November this year. So this was an unwritten understanding when Congress formed the government in 2023. That after,
see, like I said, everybody, there is no fire burning, there is no discontentment. Yes, Mr. Surjewala is here, he is our in charge. If he doesn't come and take stock of what is happening in the state, will Mr. B.L. Santosh come? He is our in charge, he is our party man, we are answerable. Couple of months back he also asked about, we all submitted our progress report. He is the one in charge of doing the, taking stock of situation in the states. We have AICC general secretaries for that only, no?
So there is no talk of CM change at all?
Absolutely. When PCC president has made it clear, CM has made it clear, and more importantly, the Congress president has made it clear, what does it matter? What anybody else's opinion is.
Sir, you clearly once again reiterated that related to the RSS. After Mr. Dattatreya Hosbale made statement related to the secularism and the statement, you said RSS need to be banned and such things.
Well, see, very clearly, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in his last speech has defined who is an anti-national. He very clearly says that those who create animosity by bringing in caste and those people who are going to impede the social, political and economic progress of the country, they are the real anti-national. Those people who sow the seeds of communal hatred in the society are anti-national. So who's doing that right now, sir? Instead of asking tough questions to their political outfit, about job loss, about manufacturing, about Pelgam, about external affairs. What are they doing? They want to change the words of the Constitution. They want to change the Constitution. This is the narrative they want to bring in.
Why these issues are raised by them?
You should ask. RSS has never been for the Constitution. These are the same bunch of people who staged protest when the Constituent Assembly debates were going on. They burned the Constitution and said that we want Manusmriti as their Constitution. Didn't they say that? Please ask them to read their magazine organizers' archives. What they have written when on 26 January 1950, what they have written in their editorial. The answer lies there itself.
Is Congress thinking to ban this if at all it comes to power next time, sir?
We will see.
All right, so as we could see Priyank Kharge there, playing down the entire controversy. Aishwarya, if you could hear what State Minister Priyank Kharge there was saying there is no fire, what are you talking about? And said, there's the fact that Surjewala is there, I mean, what's there to talk about? He is the state in charge, and will BL Santosh come if not Surjewala? So on one hand, Priyank Kharge there playing it all down, but we did see what all the other MLAs in the state had to say.
Well, certainly, and one of the leader who is very close to the Congress High Command spoke to him this morning, and he said three things about the developments of Karnataka. Number one, that a message of unity should be sent across to the people of Karnataka, a message of good governance, and the promises that had been fulfilled by the Karnataka government so far should be sent across. Second, the High Command is in full control of the situation there, and they are monitoring very closely about every situation. Then thirdly, Randeep Surjewala has been sent to Karnataka, quote unquote, with a motive. That's three things that had been told to us. Now, it is not something which is coming out just in in open. It is their own MLAs, Karnataka legislators, who are telling that this is the time for a change. And we all saw what happened in May 2023 when the Congress government came into the power. There was a stiff competition between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, although the sources at that point in time was well told that it is a 2.5 years of formula. There would be a power change after that. And as the 2.5 years are making a mark, the completion is about to come. It is now again the voices that has been grown. But certainly it would be Randeep Surjewala who will be taking intel and will be submitting a report. But the Congress High Command, as being told by close leadership over here of the High Command, they are in absolute control, and a message of unity is today should be sent across to the Congress supporters, to the workers, and to the people of Karnataka as well.
All right, a message of unity and a portrayal of unity, direction from the High Command there in Delhi, but it doesn't seem to have reached the MLAs there in Karnataka, as many are speaking out. And Deepak back with us. Deepak, we just heard Priyank Kharge, speaking to the media and trying to play down this entire crisis that we have been reporting on, and saying that, and playing down Surjewala's visit as well. But tell us more about what is happening there right now. Also interesting, as Prashant and all were pointing out, that Surjewala is meeting MLAs one-on-one.
Yes, of course, many of the Congress leaders are saying that, this is not about a leadership change. There are, of course, aspirations of some of the leaders in a party like the Congress, which allows for all leaders, of course, to exhibit their full potentials. And some of the MLAs have their own interests. I have Siddaramaiah here. He was formerly, of course, the Youth Congress president here in Karnataka as well. Now, if you could tell us, you've also been here. You've been speaking to multiple Congress leaders at a time where MLAs are quite openly saying that there needs to be a change. How do you really look at the High Command handle this situation?
Hi Deepak. First of all, there's 224 MLAs, out of which the majority of which are Congress, and a handful of them, maybe a few of them only are asking for a change or are even mentioning a change. All the other MLAs are only worried about their constituencies. They're worried about the 5 guarantees of the Congress party. They're worried about the general public in Karnataka. That is the mood here. There is no intention, obviously there will be some opinions in that matter, but the main meeting here, the agenda here is for how the Congress party has fared in the last 2 years and how the Congress party should be doing in the next 3 years.
An interesting statement that comes in from one of the MLAs, Mr. Iqbal Hussain in particular, saying that it will not fare well for the Congress party in 2028 if a change does not happen now.
It's probably his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. It is not the opinion of all the other MLAs or the other leaders in the state.
Thank you. Well, that was Siddaramaiah there speaking to us, saying that he is entitled to his opinion, not the opinion of the party. The conversations here are only revolving around, policy, guarantees and so on.
All right, Deepak there reporting from the assembly, keeping an eye really on all those developments that are taking place in Karnataka, as several MLAs have come out and spoken about change in leadership. However, others, as you saw there, playing down this entire controversy. But we're tracking all those developments very, very closely. We'll slip into a short break and return with more. Stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand.
Karnataka's Game of Thrones heats up. An MLA says 100 plus Congress legislators support DK Shivakumar. Congress troubleshooter Surjewala is in Bengaluru. He will be meeting with MLAs today. He will report back to the High Command. UBT mouthpiece Samna has come out with an editorial targeting the Maharashtra government over Operation Sindoor and undertaking Hindi imposition. The BJP hits back. At least 35 people have died in the factory fire and blast in Telangana. The Chief Minister has ordered a 5-member panel to probe the matter.
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth for CXO and business leaders by NDTV, Terry and Zenora. Master global ESG frameworks, gain real-world tools and lead with impact. Starts July 13th. Enroll now and power your business with sustainability.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of maximum city is infectious. I'm bringing that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti, also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
India's IT capital is always bustling, a city full of startups, stories and surprises. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
In the last 1 month, if you see, the share prices of Gensol Engineering has fallen more than 58%.
Why are the rating firms calling the debt payments as default?
We have 2 credible credit rating agencies on March 4th coming and downgrading the stock to D.
Statements are consistently being proven wrong,
right.
And transactions are being taken place which are different from what they were originally pictured to be.
Welcome back. Now returning to news from Bengaluru, and not politics, rather after the stampede, the tragic stampede that took place in Bengaluru, and the police officer in charge was suspended, and that was even ratified by the centre. However, now the tribunal has set aside the suspension, and the tribunal has asked the government to reconsider the other suspensions as well. Remember, the police had claimed he was being scapegoated after the stampede that took place following the IPL final, and at the outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium, when there was going to be a felicitation ceremony there for the RCB team. Let's go across to Deepak for more on this. And Deepak, the tribunal setting aside the suspension of the IPS officer, and the police had said that they were being scapegoated by the state government after this stampede had taken place.
Yes, it's an important update considering the fact that Mr. Vikas Kumar, who was in charge for the East Division of Bengaluru, he was also suspended along with the Bengaluru Commissioner and the Deputy Commissioner for the Central Division. 3 officers, IPS officers, were suspended following the stampede by the Karnataka government. He had moved the Central Administrative Tribunal. He had challenged his suspension. Today, the tribunal has set it aside. Not just that, because there shouldn't be a black mark in his sheet. They've also said that from the date of suspension till now, it should be considered as a date of service. They've also urged the state government to consider, having the same, decision to be taken with regard to the other 2 IPS officers as well. It's not, of course, binding on the state government to consider this, but of course, it's a suggestion that has been made by the tribunal. Whether the state government will challenge this decision that has been taken, or whether they will actually go by the decision or the suggestion that has been made, that's going to be an interesting point, but of course some major relief coming the way of one of the IPS officers at least.
That's right. And Deepak, you had covered that stampede. 11 people had died. There was a massive blame game that also took place. You had the BJP attacking the state government over, organizing this felicitation and the various other ceremonies at in a very short span of time, and that's what led to this stampede and questions over how it was all organized and managed in that area. But after the government had announced the suspensions, even former IPS officers had written to the state government. There's all this question of morale of the IPS officers, and now this suspension being set aside.
Yes, questions were raised by the opposition as to why was the government in a hurry to suspend officers, especially police officers who had made suggestions not to hold that felicitation ceremony on the day that it was actually held. There were also IPS officers, former officers in particular, who wrote to the state government urging them to go back on that decision. We even had some of the family members of the victims who said that the police did a good job, so the suspension was uncalled for. Despite all of this, the state government was pretty firm. The Chief Minister said there was dereliction of duty. That's the reason they were suspended, and there's no question of going back. And now the tribunal, of course, coming to the rescue of one of the officers, asking the government to consider the decision of setting aside the suspension to the other two officers as well. Whether the state government will actually pay heed to the tribunal now, or whether it will challenge these orders, that's a totally different story.
All right, Deepak, thanks so much for joining us. With those details, we'll continue to track these developments. But let's move now to news from Madhya Pradesh. And a horrifying murder has taken place in Madhya Pradesh. And this has exposed also deep cracks in public safety and hospital security, because this murder took place on the 27th of June inside a government district hospital of Narsinghpur. What you're seeing, these are very disturbing visuals, really. A 19-year-old girl, Sandhya Chaudhary, was brutally murdered in full public view by a man said to be her stalker. He was said to have been obsessed with her, and finally he attacked this young girl here in the hospital, but nobody came up and helped her. This is really horrifying, these visuals. He's actually slitting her throat. Let's go across to Anurag now for more. And Anurag, absolutely, chilling footage over there. We've obviously blurred it, but tell us more about this horrifying act and how nobody came to help this girl.
Yes, Gargi, and even a doctor filmed the entire incident, but nobody really cared about her. Nobody came forward to help her out. And this has just happened outside the emergency ward number 22, just few meters away from the trauma center. And at that time also 11 patients were there. A total of 14 guards are deputed in the hospital, and 2 guards were posted outside the trauma center. Then also no guard, no relative, no doctors came forward to help her out, and the girl died inside the hospital, and the attacker fled from there, and he is yet to be arrested. So the situation at that time was really chaotic, but very horrifying visuals coming out from the district hospital in Narsinghpur.
Right, and what do we know about this entire case? Why was this girl in the hospital? This man is said to be her stalker, this Abhishek Koshti, who we can see on the screens there. He's said to have been stalking this young girl. She was 19 years old. She was a class 12 student. Give us more details about this entire case.
Yes, Gargi, she just passed, class 12th, and she was doing some certificate course from the hospital, and she informed her parents that she is going to hospital for some work to meet some relative, and this incident has happened at around 3 p.m. when this guy came in. He started talking to her, and then something has happened. In just 5 minutes, he started stabbing the Sandhya Chaudhary, and she died within few minutes. And as you see in those visuals, nobody came forward, nobody helped her out. Even the doctor started filming, but then nobody helped her. So the police sources are saying that it was one-sided love affair, but the parents are saying that they don't know anyone by the name of Abhishek Koshti, and the girl was not like that. So it was quite apparent that this person, Abhishek Koshti, was angry. A few of them have also said that he was stalking the girl from the past many months, but then this entire incident happened inside the hospital premises. A very shocking visual, very shocking news from the hospital premises, the district hospital in Narsinghpur.
All right, Anurag, we'll leave it there. Hopefully this man will be caught soon, but a horrifying case, really. Firstly, yet another case of a young life lost due to a stalker, and then the fact that no one came forward to help this 19-year-old girl. Well, let's now focus on the tragic death of model and reality actor Shefali Jariwala, who was found dead under mysterious circumstances in her home. It's been 72 hours and no autopsy report yet, and questions keep piling. Remember, it is being said that she had very low blood pressure. Also, her medication is something that has come into focus as the police had found a lot of medication in her home. She was taking anti-aging drugs, and the question is whether these possibly played some kind of a role. She was also epileptic, is what we do know. That is something that is known in the public, and however, so far no post-mortem report has emerged as to what led to the death of Shefali Jariwala, who was just 42 years old. And remember, she had come first in the limelight just around 20 years ago when she starred in this music video Kata Laga, and NDTV has been tracking those developments. NDTV's Abira with the latest.
The postmortem report, we have to wait for more 2 or 3 days, because that's a normal protocol that is followed, and we have to wait for 2 more days for the postmortem reports to be submitted to police as well as the family, and then it will be made public. But till then, let me tell you about Shefali. We know that Shefali was on anti-aging medicines, and she was also taking skin lightening supplements. So about the safety of these, first, these are very common medications or injections that are taken by people, just not from the entertainment industry, but otherwise also, but mostly from people from the entertainment industry who would want to look a certain way on camera. But yes, there is this obsession in the society, I won't say with entertainment, just the entertainment industry, but people in the society who are watching this. We have this obsession of watching only young people on screen or the youth. And that puts a lot of pressure mostly on women who are constantly trying to look young so that their career span increases. And this is the kind of pressure she was also under, because she was 42. But she would go and perform, she'll be on reality TV. So yes, these anti-aging treatments do have side effects. These skin lightening treatments do have side effects. We spoke to someone who have gone through this side effects, and she said that, she was literally, she felt that she's dying the moment she took these injections. But also we know that that day her friend, Shefali's friend, said she took vitamin C. Now vitamin C is something which is very common. We all take it, but what we need to look at is, was it only vitamin C, or was there a cocktail of other supplements?
बहुत सारी स्टोरीज ऐसे चलती हैं कि आपने और राधिका ने शेफाली को स्पॉट कैसे किया था. So I just want you to set the record straight of what is the memory of when you first saw Shefali, and what did it strike about you that you felt कि this could be your next star of the next music video?
No, that is what Radhika and I were planning an album called DJ Doll. And we were looking around for a person who's of that particular age, where you can be a doll like innocence in character, innocence in human feelings, human relations and all that, because the casting is not about how you look, casting is all about the touch and feel also, and the emotions you carry at that particular time in your eyes and in your behavior and all that, And what has happened now on Saturday night, which is Offer Destiny's play, I think that day in the afternoon we were spotting of the Shefali was also like a play of destiny, because Radhika and I were driving on the linking road, Bandra, and of Mumbai, and like as you say, we were looking out for the girl who was with the doll, and here passes a scooter next to her car, and you have this elderly lady and a girl hugging to her, and so complexion almost like a Snow White, and all innocence, and Radhika and I just looked at her and we says, I know, how can somebody we have been looking around for so long, which is coming just parallel to us on a drive while we are driving. And we stopped on the next signal, and we hailed her, and we stopped at mother and daughter duo. And then we asked her, and then she said she's studying engineering in Bhavan's College in Bandra, in Andheri. And we said, okay, so if you are interested, then to come for auditions to the office. And we left her number.